So starting with the shuttle sprints, they will be as shown in the photo there. Several cones spread out against each other. You'd run from the start to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. I'm only going to have 5 cones. They're going to be 5 meters apart along the whole of the basketball court. They would do 5 sets of this at once with 30-second break in between each shuttle sprint. They will do this 4 times a week for the full 6 weeks, and towards the end of the 6 weeks, the 5th and 6th week, 2 times of that week will be adding dribbles in with the ball to put it in game situations. At the end, to test the acceleration, and if this has worked, they will be doing a 20 meter sprint start to see if their times have improved. For the mountain climbers, they will do simple mountain climbers at one end of the court, sprint to the next, do mountain climbers and sprint back. They will do this 10 times in sets of 3. After each set, they will have a minute break. This will be done 3 times a week, and again, the 20 meter sprint start will involve this as well. Moving on to the considerations of when you give back feedback. When giving back feedback, you need to look into certain different aspects of people's say age and stuff. So starting with honesty. When giving back feedback, you want to be honest. No one wants to be told a lie or for you not to tell them the whole truth. If you are completely honest when giving back feedback, they can work on their weakness. But when you give this feedback, giving it back honestly is a key aspect, but you also need to take these other stages in consideration. So talking about age, if you are giving feedback to a younger athlete, then you need to think about the language you are using. If you're using really high technical language that an elite or older player will understand, then this little kid will not understand what you're trying to explain. So you need to focus on your language as well as what kind of way you're giving it back. If you're doing a verbal or different kind of visual learn, so that comes under type as well, whether you just want to do a verbal talk to them, whether you want to show them a video of their errors, or whether you want to give them a demonstration of a real one, that will come under the type category when giving back feedback. Moving on to gender, some different people will take things more lightly when looking at girl or male participants. They may take it a different way. So when a female will be giving information back from a male coach, they might not approach them in the same way. Girls could be more sensitive than boys when it comes to certain areas, so you need to consider that when giving back their feedback. Also, experience is a very key one that you need to look at. Age, gender and experience all come under the individual category of how you should respect someone. So experience is a good one to look into for feedback. It's one of the highest ones you need to look into, because if you are talking to an elite athlete, they will need more technical information, they would need more focus, and they would need more detail in what they need to work on. For a beginner, what you would need to do is probably go step by step, break it down, go slower, and not use as much technical detail that they may not understand. So these are some key reasons as to why you really should take into account positive and negative ways of giving back feedback. So you can, positive and negative constructive criticism is very typically used when giving feedback. A common aspect of this is the sandwich strategy, where you do a positive, negative, then positive, but again you need to look into age, gender, experience for that, to whether or not that would fit into their criteria. Also, when giving back feedback, you want to be able to motivate them. You don't want to bring them down or feel like they can't do something. So when giving back feedback, that is the final thing you need to take into consideration as to whether you want them to carry on. So to motivate them and make them feel like they can be better than they already are.